Hey y'all, what's good beautiful people? It's your girl Tay and I'm here yet again with another beauty video. Yes, I'm doing another makeup tutorial today using a whole bunch of E.L.F products. Now we do got a sprinkle of some other cosmetic brands in there, but majority of the stuff that we're going to be using today is E.L.F. I've heard so many good reviews about E.L.F products. I have used their Flawless Finish foundation and I actually like that. For that to be a really affordable foundation, it really works well. It really holds up well on my skin. So today we're going to be trying another one of their complexion products, like I said, along with some other products. So definitely make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload any type of video, you will be notified. So you guys are going to have to excuse me if I'm looking all over the place because I'm using a different camera, obviously. So my face, I'm going to have to train myself to look at the lens versus looking at myself, because looking at myself just kind of makes me look like I'm looking somewhere else. But anyways, I did do my eyebrows, as you can see, already off camera in an effort to save us some time, because it does take me, I want to say, a good 20 to 30 minutes to do that. So we are going to jump right into these eyes before we move on to this face. And to move in closer to you guys so you can see, hopefully the lighting is okay. You guys have to work with me when we move. Hopefully when I move and when I get myself my own beauty room, things will look better, but you're just gonna have to bear with me right now. All right, so yes, I am moving closer so that I can show you guys all of the texture and everything that I have going on my face, and also so you can see me do these eyes. What I'm going to use, I'm shaking it up, but what I'm going to use to prime my eyes is the Juvia's Place Eye Primer, and this is the number 2. They have 3 different shades. They have 1, 2, and 3. I think number 1 is obviously like a white color. This is the second shade, which is like a tan color, and then the third shade, of course, is a darker color. I don't have that one, but we're going to be using this one today to prime the eyes. I may have put a little bit too much over there, but it's okay. We are going to blend this out, and I am going to use just a regular, this is a foundation brush by Equal Tools that I'm going to using just a flat paddle style brush, okay? All right, so I did go ahead and add some setting powder from the Cream Shop. This is my Banana Cream Shop setting powder. I did add that, so I'm just gonna buff that in just so we can set the eyes so that there's no creasing. I just wanna set that primer into place really, really quickly before we go in with our colors. Okay, and that is it for that. Now, for the eyes today, I am going to be using this E.L.F. Eyeshadow palette. I found this on their site. I don't know if this is a regular item on their site or if it is a holiday item, but this is the E.L.F. Hot Chocolate, which is spelled H-A-U-T-E chocolate sugar cookie palette. I have played in this a little bit, so if you guys see like this yellow color, I dug all in that, but this is what she looks like. Okay, so I'm going to open her up. I'm not exactly sure, to be completely transparent with you guys, this is my second attempt at recording this video. I actually started all over because I didn't like how the video was going, so I completely scrapped that footage, and I didn't do all of my face. I had just barely started doing my eyes, but I took that off with some baby wipes, cleaned my face up, and we are doing this again. All right, so hopefully we can get through this. The first time I used a concealer, and I should have just went with my first mind and used the primer, because I think this is going to come out a whole heck of a lot better this time around. Now, to start the eyes off, for my transition shade, I think I'm going to use this orangey color right here. I'm going to dig into that, and then I'm going to just apply that all over my lids, okay? So once I have that in there, what I like to do is wipe off my brush, which, by the way, because I forgot to mention it, this is the Morphe M504 brush. Okay, and this is what she looks like. So I'm gonna blend this out just so that it's soft and diffused. Okay, I just want like a wash of this color right here. Right, so I did go and close my window because I think that outside light, the natural daylight, was clashing with my ring light as well as my actual bedroom light. So now that I have my transition shade placed where I want it, I am going to go back in, and I think I want to use, I'm going to use this dark brown shade up here at the top. So I am using the E.L.F. blending eye brush. That's literally what it says, just a blending eye brush. And this is what that looks like. It's just a more denser brush. The bristles are a little bit more closely packed in here. So I'm going to use that brush and go into that color and then just start to work on my outer V so we can kind of create some depth and dimension to my eye. You know what? We're just going to play around and see what we get. So I'm going to start right here and really start to just pack on that color and then start to blend it out. I will say that I noticed a little bit of kickback in the pan. That doesn't really bother me. I don't get bothered by kickback in the pan. I like that as long as the eyeshadow gives me good pigmentation, which so far it doesn't look like that's an issue with this palette. I'm not really bothered by that. That's pretty much what we want to do, and then we just want to mimic that on the other side. Okay, so I pretty much have it placed on both sides where I want it. Now I'm going in with the E.L.F. blending brush, which is just, this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like my Morphe brush. The bristles are just a little bit more spread out and a little bit more fluffy. There's no product on this brush though, but I want to go in and just kind of fuse this darker shade into my transition shade, and then I'm just kind of dragging it down to the outer corner of my eyelid. Okay, and there is a lot of blending to this. I can guarantee that most times people don't show you just exactly how much blending it actually takes, but I know I do a lot of my extra blending off camera, because if I didn't, we would be sitting here literally for a lot longer than what I want this video to actually be, okay? So we're gonna cut out all of that, but I'm just, okay, so I pretty much got that the way that I wanted. It's nice and blended. Don't worry about the edges because we are going to clean that up much later. Now, for the next shade, I do want to do a small, like a pop of color. Not exactly sure which one I want to do. I'm kind of going back and forth between this yellow color here and this green. But I think I'm leaning more towards the yellow because that's what I was playing with earlier. So I think we're going to try that again. Hopefully we have some better luck, okay? I'm going to try to do this with my finger first. The first time I had to kind of like spray my brush, but I'm going to see with me placing my finger in that yellow color and then trying to place it on my eyelid. We're going to see how much of a color payoff we get that way. Okay. It is showing up. It is showing up. I like that. I'm gonna do it to the other eye. It's a little bit more difficult because I have nails, as you can see. So I might have to use the brush just to kind of really get in there and mesh it in with the other colors. But I like that. I like that. All right, you guys, so this is how the eyes are looking so far. I did actually go in and change that color. The yellow just wasn't giving me what I needed it to give. It just wasn't looking the way I wanted it to look, so I did go in. The brown I did notice was a little bit patchy, so I had to work really, really hard to get that in there and look nice and seamless and buffed out. So far, I'm liking the eyes. I'm gonna have to play around with that palette a little bit more, but I did add some lashes, as you can see, some nice and subtle lashes. This is by the Kiss Magnetic brand. It comes with its own highlighter, and this is in the style Charm. Okay, and this is what the package looks like. Nothing too spectacular there. These are more or less like some everyday lashes. Not too dramatic, not too fluffy, not too spread it out. Okay, but enough about the eyes. As you can see, there was a little bit of fallout from that yellow too. Again, that doesn't bother me at all, but you guys can see clearly there's some fallout. So we are going to jump into this face. We have another E.L.F. product that I want to try here, and that is the E.L.F. Jelly Pop Dew primer. Now, as far as I know, this is actually supposed to be a dupe for the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, which I have used and I do like it. So far, it does really, really good. I use that in combination with my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer as well, because I do have some texture going on my face, so I do need a little bit of extra tender love and care. But today I decided to see if this is a possible dupe, if I could get away with using this primer along with the, this is a sample of the Rare Beauty, I think it's Always Optimist primer or something like that. But we are going to put the Jelly Pop on first, and then we're going to go in some of those troublesome areas on my face and add that Rare Beauty primer. All right. You know what? I'm not going to do it like that. I'm just going to put this on my hand, on the back of my hand, and then just dab it in the spaces that I want it to go. So this is about how much I have on the back of my hand. It's thick and it's thin at the same time, okay? So it does have a thick, tacky consistency like the Milk Hydro Grip. Ooh, it smells good too. It smells really, really good. I like the scent of this. All right, so I had to go off camera and fix my eyebrow, as you guys saw me so gracefully mess up on camera. First impressions about this e.l.f. Jelly Pop, like I said, it smells good. It feels really good. It's nice and tacky. So now I am going to go in with the Rare Beauty primer and add that. I kind of want to just stick with my Laura Mercier, but I'm going to use this because I haven't used this in a while, and I want to know if this is worth buying a larger size, if this is another primer that I need to keep in my arsenal. So I'm going to add this one to those problem areas. This is how it looks, by the way. It almost looks like it's like a gel consistency, just like this one. All right, so I did kind of let that set in for about 30-60 seconds. I am still just kind of pressing that second primer in. The consistency of that primer is honestly just like the Milk Hydro Grip, except it doesn't leave you a tacky feel. It is a little smoothing, but it kind of just feels like a moisturizer. So I'm not exactly sure if that's going to do anything for my skin. Now, in terms of the Jelly Pop primer, that is definitely tacky, okay, on the skin. Now, moving on, we have the star of the show, which is the E.L.F. Camel Cc Cream. This is supposed to be color correcting, full coverage. It's supposed to give you a nice natural finish. It has skin loving ingredients like collagen, peptides, and niacinamide, which are really, really good. So I'm hoping that this does me well. It also has a broad spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen in there as well. Now, this is $14. It retails as $14, and you can get this also Target, Walmart, Ulta Beauty, and of course off of the E.L.F. website. So this is what she looks like out of the packaging. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to start off with 2 pumps, okay? We're going to do 2 pumps on the back of the hand and start adding this to the face. So those are my 2 pumps. I'm a little bit nervous, okay? They didn't have any shades that were warmer. I actually would prefer more of a warmer tone. The N generally stands for neutral. So we're going to see if this actually works for me, because I don't know, y'all. I don't know. This is going to be a surprise to all of us. Okay, so I still have a little bit of product left on my hand. To blend this out, I am going to use the E.L.F. Complexion Duo Brush. Now, I have used this before in another video, but this is what it looks like. Okay, we're going to obviously use this larger side, and we're going to start to buff this into the skin and see what it looks like. Like I said, I'm pretty nervous. I feel like my skin naturally has a lot of warm. It does well with really warm undertones, so we'll see. Because to be perfectly honest, from what I'm seeing and trying all the different foundations, the ones that I've tried from the different companies and all of that, some may have in for neutral, but in fact may have a more warm undertone, and vice versa. So I'm gonna try to skim past my eyebrows because I don't want to mess them up. Try to move my fluffy back so I can blend this in over here. Okay, First impression so far, I ain't got no complaints. I ain't got no complaints whatsoever. We gonna see. We are going to see. And this was not all of it. This is the rest of the product that's on the hand. So a little bit under 2 pumps. And we pretty much got the face covered. Okay, first impressions. I'm not mad at the coverage. I definitely think that it looks good in terms of the actual coverage. It doesn't look bad at all. You know, I think it looks good, but I feel like it's got me looking a little bit olivey. So we are going to start to put some concealer on there and see if we can't bring me back, because I am not feeling this color. All right, this is the E.L.F 16-hour Camo Concealer, and this is in a matte finish. This is what that looks like. I have used this before, and from my experience, it does dry down very quickly, so I need to have my blending tool available right away. So I am spraying my blending brush, and I'm going to, not blending brush, my blending sponge, and I'm going to add this on. I don't want a lot. Did go in with my NARS small mini concealer just to add a little bit more brightness under my eyes, my forehead, and down my nose. I'm going to let that sit for a second. While that sits, I am going to go in with my L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer, and this is in the shade Coffee, and I'm going to use that to do a little bit of a contouring situation right here. Less is definitely more, okay? So we don't want to add too much. Bam, that's all we need. Add a little bit more across the forehead in this area. And did I get this side? Bam, right there. That's all we need of that. And then to blend that out, I am going to go in with my Baddington brush. It came in a set from BoxyCharm. I don't really know what it's supposed to be used for, but it's a nice dense brush. So I think that's going to be perfect to kind of stipple in my contouring situation right here, as you can see. Now that I've got my contour pretty much blended in, I'm going to go in with my Sonia Kashuk concealer blending brush. I think it's number 151. It doesn't have the number on there. It had it on there when I bought it on the tag. But this is what she looks like. It's a nice angled brush, and it allows me to be just a little bit more precise when I'm trying to blend out my concealer. I can use this to blend out this whole area, but today I just decided to use it for the brighter shade. Okay, so we're just gonna pat that in there. Okay, now that we've got that pretty much blended in, okay, I am now going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to use the same brush that I actually used to buff out the foundation and just kind of kill the lines of demarcation where the concealer and the bronze meet, as well as on my forehead where the two colors meet, because I want just a gradient of color. I don't want there to be like a line showing the transition between the two colors. Okay, so that's perfect for that. I don't know if you guys can see how it's looking now, but there's definitely no line of demarcation there. And I didn't put any additional product on this brush. I just used whatever was left. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and start to set my face. I want to set my concealer first. So I'm going to go in with my Rimmel London Stay Matte Powder. And this is actually in the shade Creamy Natural. I wanted transparent and I ordered this online from Walmart, but they didn't have transparent. So they just brought me this one as a substitution. I haven't had really any issues out of it as of yet. I did actually go back and get the transparent, but I didn't want to let this go to waste. So I'm going to use it. I'm just adding this. I am using the E.L.F. highlighting brush. It's just a nice fluffy brush. Okay, I am patting into the powder here using this mirror from my bronzer pan, and I am just going to stipple that in all of these places where I have applied that concealer. Done with that. Now I am going to use, I'm sorry I'm all up in your face, y'all. We're gonna get this together. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. That's all that's important, is if you can see me, that's all that's important. Now the next thing I'm going to use is my Black Radiance Soft Focus Setting Powder. This is a pressed powder. It's in the shade Milk Chocolate. This is my absolute favorite. Y'all need to get this. This absolutely does make you look like a walking filter. It just immediately blurs everything out. So I'm going to dip my brush in there, and this is a brush, just a powder brush that I got off of Amazon. It was $10, nice and fluffy. I haven't had no issues out of it. I'm going to dip in there, tap off, and then I'm going to go in those areas where I didn't set with that other powder. Hopefully we're going to start to bring the color back to the rest of mama's face. Sit down here. And then one more swipe into the pan, and I'm going to take the rest of that, and then I'm just going to dust that all over the rest of my face. Now that that part is done, I am going to do a little bit of baking right now. I am going to take some of this is my Cream Shop banana powder. I'm going to take a little bit of this. It's a nice yellow color. You guys have seen me use this before. It does have its own sponge in here. Okay, this little poofy doofy thingy. So we are going to take that. I'm going to take some of this powder, and I'm going to just apply it right there. Right there. Then I am going to need a mirror for this because I don't want to mess up my face. I'm going to be mad. Put all this work in. I'm going to tap it lightly under my eyes. Just lightly. And then I'm going to try to make it down my nose. Bam. Just like that. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute while I add the last little pieces to this face and dust off. Because she looked like she was rolling around in a garbage can right now. Okay. So we're going to dust that off. Get this off of my lips. My lip is not bleeding, you guys. It's just really, really, really pink. That's just how they are. They are naturally pink like that. Okay, so moving on, I am going to use... I'm going to use a little bit of... What am I going to use? I don't know what I'm going to use. I was thinking I want to use a little bit of this blush right here. A little bit of this blush. Okay, so this blush is also by E.L.F. This is in the shade Always Spicy. This is their primer infused blush. I used this once. I didn't really like it. It didn't really add too much of a color to my cheeks, but I'm going to go ahead and use it today just for the purposes of the video, just so you guys can see me using as many E.L.F. products as possible. I'm also going to be using the E.L.F. Blush brush, which looks exactly like the E.L.F. highlighting brush. It just says blush on this one and highlight on the other one. So I'm going to dip into that a little bit. Tap off the excess, and I'm going to start to, yeah, see, it's not really giving me too much color on my cheeks. Maybe that's just me. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of color, but that's okay. That is okay. I'm not really seeing too much, but we're going to add it anyway. All right, now I do think that this powder has been sitting long enough. I don't want it to overly bake. I just kind of wanted to bring some of that color back. So I am going to sweep this away. Sweep, sweep, sweep. And then we're going to get the rest of this out. Try not to sweep away my doggone eyelash. All right, for the most part, I am truly liking how my face is looking, so I am going to go ahead and spray. For setting spray, I am going to be using the ColourPop hydrating spray. Now, I do have a spray by E.L.F, a matte setting spray, but because my face does need a little bit more moisture, I'm going to go ahead and use the Pretty Fresh hydrating spray by ColourPop, okay? Woo! All right. So we've got the face nice and set, you guys. I do apologize if this video ended up being longer than what I wanted it to be. That was not my intentions. All right, so now that we have the face nice and set, I'm going to fix up my hair and take this thing off, and I'll be right back. All right, I am here, I am back. The hair is up in a little bunny bun up here. You know, my usual. Got to keep my locks covered, okay? I really don't like exposing my hair, just in case you guys were wondering. For spiritual reasons, my hair is pretty much always covered. I think I have one video on my TikTok where my hair was out, and I felt absolutely horrible after that. Not because of TikTok itself, I just really don't like exposing my hair. It's just a very spiritual thing. But anyways, moving on. So now that we have that situated, I am going to go in with this E.L.F shimmer highlighting powder, okay? Is there a shade on here? Topaz Glow, okay? And this is what she looks like. She does have a mirror, which is great. So I'm going to dip into that. I'm going to be using another E.L.F Fluffy Eye Blender brush to highlight, okay? I'm going to dip into that ever so slightly. Tappity, tappity, tap, tap. I'm just playing, y'all. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of this on this Cupid's bow here. I'm going to try to make that top lip look sexy. Because right now, I feel like I got mommy lips. I don't know what mommy lips is, but I feel like I got it. I'm going to go back here. We're going to do a little shimmy, shimmy. Take me to another place. All right. Other side. Other side. See that? Beautiful. Beautiful glow. Just let your soul glow. My daughter is right here. She's laughing at me, you guys. I'm really goofy. I don't get to express this side of myself, obviously, when I'm doing my more serious content, but I am really a goofy person at heart. I really like making people laugh. So this is literally a lot more of me that you get to see in my beauty videos, because I get to just let my personality shine, and I don't feel like I can necessarily do that in my other videos, okay? All right, so we're just gonna apply a little bit here, kind of buff that out. I did do a little bit there. I don't want it to be too much, not too much, not too much. I think that's just enough. Now, one thing I didn't do is bronze. So we are going to do the bronzing now. Where's my brush? Where'd she go? She missing. My brush. Oh, no, she's not. She's right there. Okay. So I'm going to go back into this E.L.F Complexion Duo Brush, and I'm going to use this side of the brush. I'm going to be using my iconic London bronzer, and the reason for that is because they didn't have any bronzers from E.L.F that I thought that I could use. So I'm going to use the bottom of this, and I'm going to first tap in, and I'm going to use, you know what? That's a lie. That ain't what I want to do. That's a lie and a half right there. What we're going to do is we're going to go back into this Black Radiance Soft Focus, because I really don't like an extreme contour on my nose. So I'm gonna dip into my setting powder and I'm gonna use that to kind of sculpt out my nose just a tad bit. Not much. Not much, just a little bit. And the reason why I use that powder versus using the bronzer, for one, that bronzer is entirely too red and I feel like it makes my nose look like it belongs on another human being, and I don't like that. Whereas this kind of meshes into my natural skin color, okay? So it just gives me a nice shaped nose. We're not trying to sculpt it. I don't want to make my nose look like it's skinny, okay? We're not trying to do that. We just trying to shape it. All right, so that's pretty much it for that. And then to bronze up my whole face, I'm going to use, I could not wait to use this brush. This is a new brush, but it's another E.L.F. brush. This is the E.L.F. pointed powder brush, and she looks like this. She is nice and clean. We're going to dip her into that, and we're going to use that to bronze the rest of my face. Hold up now, okay? We're not trying to look like a crazy person. All right, and we're going to go in and just slightly kind of add a little bit more of this to the perimeter of the face. And that is literally it. That's all I want, y'all. That's all I want right there. That's all I want. Bam! We're gonna hide that because that ain't none of y'all business. So we're gonna put that back up under there. Y'all don't need to see that. Now let's do these lips. I already have my products picked out. I don't know which one of these combinations is going to work, but I don't have any E.L.F. lip products. I can tell you that right now. I ain't have no E.L.F. lip. So we're going to have to make it work with what I do have. And what I do have right now is a lip product from the Lip Bar. I have this. This is in the shade. Where's the shade at? It ain't on here, but I believe this is in the shade Savage. It's on the side. So I'm going to use that and line the lips. We're going to line the lips. Line it, line it, line it. All right, that ain't come out the way I wanted it to, but we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna roll with it. Now I have two different colors to go in the center. Originally I was gonna go into this Dope Taupe by Tinted, but I think that's going to match the color of Savage. So then I also have this Maybelline Super Stay liquid lip, and this is in the shade Chai Genius, and this is what that looks like. So we're gonna add a little bit of that to the lip in the center. Perfect. Now I was going to do a gloss, but I'm actually liking how this is looking. So I don't think I want to do a gloss. I think I want to reinforce that bottom line, and then we are pretty much done. With this look. All right, you guys, so this is the final look. It took all day. I'm pretty sure this video is long as hell, and I'm mad about it because I really was trying to like time the little individual clips so that this video could be a lot shorter. I do apologize. I'm getting better and better at this, or at least I think I'm getting better. At least in my mind, I'm getting better. But anyways, you guys, this is the final look, okay? I hope that you guys like this. I am really loving it. I still feel like I look a little olivey. I feel like my setting powders, of course, did help to bring the color back to my skin. I do also like the fact that this concealer under my eyes is not creasing. Now, this camera has its own filter to it, a little slight filter to it. Not anything that I've done. It's just like the default settings. And I don't know how to change it, but I have really bad creasing under my eyes. You guys know I'm really dark under there, but it is not creasing nowhere as bad as some of these more expensive brands that I have used under my eyes. It creases like almost immediately. So I'm really impressed with their camo concealer. I can tell you that right now. So as far as first impression goes, I definitely think that all of these E.L.F. products are going to be in my arsenal. Like I said, I don't really think that the the what is that primer infused blush, I don't really think that that did much for me. I don't really see it. Maybe you guys see something that I didn't. I don't really see anything, so I don't really think that that did anything for me at all. I think I'm going to definitely have to look into a more pinky tone for my cheeks. All in all, I think that everything looks absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm really feeling them lips. Okay, I feel like I got little small lips. Okay, I feel like they're a lot bigger on camera than they are in real life. That could just be me. That could just be me. You know, we're our own worst critics or whatever, but I definitely am feeling this lip combo as well. Doesn't have anything to do with e.l.f. products, but I think it absolutely looks good. So on that note, you guys, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to let y'all get on with y'all day. I hope y'all got something out of this tutorial. I can't wait to do the next one, but as always, you guys remember to live, love, and elevate, and I will definitely see you guys in the next beauty video. And I'm out of here.